Ding dong, the free the land witches are almost gone. You can smell it in the air. It smells like freedom. Jackson is about to break the chains of the free the land mafia. We're one step closer. Another domino has fallen, as I told y'all on my social media platforms. Circle the date. Remember the 17th of October. I know it doesn't quite have the ring as the 5th of November, but hey, remember that one too. That's the day we save America. We're saving Jackson right now. The second person charged in the bribery scandal that brought down Jackson City Councilwoman pleads guilty in federal court. Maybe asking yourself, Clay, what does this have to do with saving Jackson from the Free the Land Mafia, Chokwe and Lumumba, his sister Rakia, Dr. Amari, all these idiots that have destroyed Jackson, Mississippi while only enriching themselves? I'm glad you asked. But first, make sure you get over to my shop, my merch shop, buyfafo.com. Grab yourself one of these fancy shirts like I'm wearing right now, or get one of the hoodies like you've seen me wear on some of these past streams real quick. We got the OG logo like I'm wearing now, the American red, white, and blue G.I. Joe logo. And, of course, we got the brand new, which is surprising to me, is the hottest seller so far. I thought the OG logo was going to be the one everybody wanted, but the Mississippi Blackout tag, FAFO, where the county, it says Clay Edwards Show. We got that in the shirts and the hoodies, as well as the OG logo in the hoodie and the OG gray shirt that's been so popular that so many of you have. Check them out now. There it is, buyfafo.com. If you enjoy this content, you know, being a small-time local content creator, we're never going to make enough money on views for me to do this for a living. I have to have you guys support buying merch, supporting my sponsors, getting out to Men's Health in Mississippi, taking advantage of the free testosterone screenings that they offer, and so much more. Text my name, Clay, to 601-327-8550 if you're suffering from fatigue, decreased muscle tone, lack of energy, low libido, brain fog, and sleep disturbances. Help support me by helping make yourself feel better. That, my friends, is a win-win if I've ever heard it. Let's jump into it, shall we? I just did a 2 hour and 40-minute live stream with, I don't need these on, with Kingfish over at Jackson Jambalaya a little earlier. We broke this down. I spent an hour with Kingfish, who broke this story, by the way. Then I did an hour by myself, just reading comments and talking with you guys. And then I did 40 minutes of listening in on WLBT's live stream. CJ LeMasters did a masterful job of breaking this down. You can go check out their website at WLBT.com, or, of course, Kingfish's website at JacksonJambalaya.com. Very detail-oriented over there on Kingfish's site. Highly recommend checking that out if you get a chance. I'm going to use WLBTs for the sake of this story here. And we're going to all tell you how this hopefully ties into this. Seeing Chokwe and Lumumba in an orange jumpsuit in jail. That's how I think this is all going to end. And I'm going to tell you how. But first, let's read the story of WLBT. A Hinds County man has pled guilty to a federal bribery charge for his part in a scandal that ensnared a Jackson councilwoman and led to a federal raid on businesses tied to Hinds County District Attorney Jody Owens. Federal court documents unsealed Thursday morning show Sharik Marve Smith has been charged with one count of conspiracy to commit bribery. He initially pled not guilty yesterday morning in U.S. District Court. That is this morning, Thursday. Later, changing his plea to guilty. According to court records, he was released on a $10,000 unsecured bond. As part of his plea deal, he will be required to repay $20,000. Smith faces up to 5 years in prison, a fine of $250,000, 3 years of supervised release, and a $100 special assessment to the court. The Bill of Information states Smith conspired with 3 other unnamed, and this is where I believe Chokwe and Lumumba comes in, and where anybody who's got half a brain and can read also believes that this is Chokwe and Lumumba and Jody Owens and Aaron Banks that they're discussing. Anyway, conspired with 3 unnamed and unindicted individuals to ensure that money from FBI agents posing as developers made their way to Jackson City officials who could influence the developer's real estate development project. This is referring to the Convention Center Hotel project that has been the center of so much controversy here lately. A WLBT 3 on Your Side investigation earlier this year revealed that Smith was one of two local investors mentioned in a request for qualifications submitted to the city of Jackson in March regarding the development of a convention center hotel. The other was Hinds County DA Jody Owens. That firm was the Nashville-based Facility Solutions Team, which was one of three firms that responded to Jackson's request. WLBT later confirmed that Owens and FST met with multiple council members earlier this year, including council members Virgie Lindsay, Ashby Foote, and Aaron Banks, and of course, former councilwoman, convicted felon Angelique Lee. Months after those meetings, in May, FBI agents raided Owens' downtown cigar business and his office at the Hinds County Courthouse. Here's a photo from the raid down there at the Daiquiri Bar and the cigar bar and all that stuff. A newly unsealed document revealed more about the federal government's case against the three other individuals who have yet to be indicted on federal charges referred to as co-conspirators A, B, and C. A being Jody Owens, we suspect. B being Aaron Banks, we suspect. And C being Chokwe and Lumumba, we suspect. According to court documents, Smith and co-conspirator A negotiated and communicated offers for payments from the FBI officials to co-conspirators A and C. The bill also states that Smith and co-conspirators A funneled payments to co-conspirator B in exchange for a vote on a proposed real estate development in the city, and to co-conspirator C to direct one or more city employees to move a deadline in favor of individuals 1 and individual 2's proposed real estate development. That and let me tell you what that means here. The mayor of Jackson is the only person that can direct city employees to do anything that is also, and we're going to read this, that would also have a re-election campaign checking account. That's going to be important. You can hear my dog over there licking the bottom of her bowl because she is hungry. Libby, stop. The bill also states that Smith and co-conspirator A funneled, or we already said that, the mayor is the only elected official who can direct employees to move deadlines. Co-conspirator B is likely a city council member because only city council members can vote on projects. Also, co-conspirator C, being the mayor, why we suspect it's the mayor for multiple reasons, is also the only person who can take something forth to the city council for them to vote on. So that's why the mayor would select the developer. He would take that developer to the city council to vote on it. Makes sense for you? That's why we believe that it's the mayor. So who are the co-conspirators? Here is what the court documents say. Unindicted co-conspirator A, a resident of Hinds County, conspired with Smith to corruptly give, offer, and agree to give things of value, including cash payments and campaign contributions to unindicted co-conspirators B and C, owned controlled bank account through which payments were funneled. We believe that to be Jody Owens. Unindicted co-conspirator B, an elected official in the city of Jackson, received bribes in exchange for his or her vote on a convention center hotel project. We believe that to be Aaron Banks, or it could very well be, I think Grizel is the other guy's name, but Banks makes the most sense being the city council president, and the fact that several of the others, Stokes, Ashby Foote, and Hartley, none of them took the bait on the bribe. Unindicted co-conspirator C, an elected official in the city of Jackson, received bribes in exchange for support for a convention center hotel project. Funds were deposited into this co-conspirator's campaign war chest to direct city employees to move a deadline to benefit developers, that being his re-election campaign. Who can direct city employees that's running for re-election right now, or about to be? Chokwe Lumumba. Individuals 1 and 2, the confidential human sources for the FBI who posed as developers from Nashville, provided the money and cash for the bribes, which was funneled through Smith and co-conspirator A, Jody Owens. As for the deadline, it was not clear what deadline court records were referring to. However, records indicate co-conspirator C did direct one or more city employees to move the deadline in question. The conspiracy occurred between October of 23 and May of 24. The city's latest statement for qualifications was issued in January of this year. It was issued months after the Jackson received no response to its previous request for proposals. Two of the other companies responded to the January request. Payments included $10,000 cash to unindicted co-conspirator B, protective services for co-conspirator B, and an employment opportunity for a family member of co-conspirator B. Smith funneled a $10,000 check to co-conspirator C's re-election committee using funds from individuals 1 and individual 2, the FBI agents, after those funds had been routed through an account belonging to co-conspirator A. Individuals 1 and 2 were confidential sources working for the FBI. Both were posing as real estate developers from Nashville seeking to invest and develop a property in downtown Jackson. According to his LinkedIn profile, Smith is an insurance specialist and sales manager for Penn Global Marketing, where he has been for the last 16 years and 2 months. He has a bachelor's degree he has a bachelor's of business administration and marketing and management degrees from Jackson State University. The bill of information reveals striking similarities to the bill unsealed when Lee pled guilty to a related bribery charge. Talking about Angelique Lee, the former disgraced city councilwoman who's now a convicted felon. In that matter, Lee also received a payment funneled through an account owned by an unidentified and unindicted co-conspirator. She also received $3,000 in cash and went on a $6,000 shopping spree at a local high-end retailer using an FBI agent's credit card. She resigned from the city council in August and pled guilty to conspiracy to commit bribery. She has yet to be sentenced for her sentencing. She has yet to be sentenced, and her sentencing date has been postponed until further notice. Jackson Director of Communications, with her favorite line, Melissa Faith Payne declined to comment when asked if the mayor could comment. Why would he have a comment, she asked. Because he did it, in my opinion, allegedly, of course. Melissa Faith Payne may be, for a lady that was so good on the news, I can't think of anybody who's been in her position as city spokesperson who has been worse at their job. Now, I understand that she works for the mayor and the city, and they tell her what she can and can't say. But Melissa Faith Payne, you are terrible at your job. I just want you to hear that out of my mouth. You're terrible. You should go back to doing the news where you can at least, I don't know, do your job and actually communicate with the media. For somebody who is in the media to be so disrespectful towards the media by always saying, when it has anything to do negatively with the city, we have no comment, that is trash. And you should be ashamed of yourself. And it's coming from somebody who is a fan of yours, and I know you don't give a shit about who Clay Edwards is or any stuff like that, and that's fine with me. I don't care, but you should be ashamed of yourself for the job you've done as whatever it is your job title is, communications director with the city. Terrible. I want to show you this picture again. Coming soon to a federal prison near you, Chokwe, Enter Lumumba, in his orange, skin-tight, skinny jeans jumpsuit, just to let the boys know he's there for business. I can't wait. These people have destroyed the city of Jackson while enriching themselves and their minority set-aside partners. This is a black La Cosa Nostra. They moved down here from Detroit, the Michigan area, years and years ago. I am actively pulling for Chokwe to go to jail, Jody Owens to go to jail. I don't really give two shits about Aaron Banks or not. And I would love to see Chokwe's sister, Rakia, involved in this somehow or another. All of them have benefited greatly on the deaths of hundreds, nearly 1,000 young black men have been murdered on their watch since they became king and queen of Jackson when he became mayor. Frankly, prior to that, when his dad was mayor as well. Thousands of deaths. Almost 1,000, if we're not there now, just since he became mayor in July of 17, almost 1,000 murders in Jackson. I have nothing but disdain for these people. I am actively pulling for them to get everything they deserve. They have destroyed our city. They have enriched themselves while they're doing it, allegedly, of course. I really don't even like saying allegedly, and I can't wait for the moment I can dance on their fucking graves. Professional graves, of course, not literal graves. The graves of their careers, and these people get exactly what they have coming. And anybody that lives in Jackson should honestly feel the same way. But like I said in my 2 hour and 40-minute live stream, I know the culture in the city of Jackson, and I understand that most of the people there are a bunch of trash. Probably 70% of the people in Jackson are criminals or thugs, or they support criminals and thugs. And it's why people like me had to move. They're sitting back there and they're thinking to themselves, I would do the same thing given that opportunity. And it's absolutely disgusting. It should never be acceptable in the city. But they sit back over there and they'll sit over here and look at Rankin County, and they get a big bellyache laugh out of the goon squad. They're very concerned about the goon squad. They're very concerned about Brett Favre and TANF money and all of that stuff. But they don't care about the nearly 1,000 dead young black men, women, and children who have been murdered in senseless acts of violence since the Lumumbas took over in their city. Because they just look at it like this. Hey, that brother looks like me. At least he's getting his. Tune into the Clay Edwards Show tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. I plan on going off about this a whole lot more with my co-host, Sean Yurkron. You can watch it wherever you're watching this video right here, as a matter of fact. We are live in 4K as well. And, of course, on demand after the show's over at 9, wherever you're watching this video. We make it very accessible to anybody that wants to consume the content. If you disagree with me, would love to hear from you tomorrow morning. Would love to hear from you. Are you a Jackson resident who disagrees with me that most Jacksonians don't co-sign on this behavior? I mean, y'all voted for him twice. Can't keep the water running. Can't keep the garbage picked up. Can't keep the bodies out of the street. Can't keep the businesses from leaving the town. Can't get anything done without corruption. Please, let me know where I'm wrong. Would love to hear from you tomorrow morning. Tune in live, wherever you're watching this video right now or on the radio, 103.9 FM, WYAB, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.